Hi, it's Victor Chang of Book Commercial Productions, and today I'd like to talk to you about generating leads and new business through public speaking. Public speaking is a very powerful way to attract new clients. And if you're the CEO or marketing executive in your company, being on stage at your industry convention, your industry trade show, at other types of events where prospects and customers will be, is a very powerful way to get noticed and be sort of respected as the industry experts. And I've sort of done my share of speaking over the years, and I find it's very, very powerful. You know, people come up to you over stage. There's a sort of physiological thing. They got to look up at you when you're up on the platform and speaking. And so there's a sort of like, worshiping an authority figure almost. And there's a lot of sort of psychological elements of sort of being the person with the microphone, with the megaphone, being introduced on stage, and being noticed, and something that I want to talk to you about today. And one of the tools for getting more speaking engagements is publishing a book, and for our company, we certainly recommend using the Bookmercial as a way to sort of be known for something as well as to communicate a sales message within the context of a very useful book. And once you've been on stage, it's a very powerful tool, and there's some tips to sort of getting on stage, and I want to share some of them with you. When you sort of have all the trappings of a credible expert, when you can cite other places where you've given speeches, other events, other conventions, certainly that you've published books or certain articles in your trade magazines and industry publications, those are all sort of very useful references. And it's building up a sort of a overwhelming level of proof of your credibility that you are a credible expert, you know what you're talking about. And certainly publishing a book can help a lot. And I want to give you some examples of just how it's applied to me. I've published multiple books in my own career, in addition to sort of publishing Bookmercial books on behalf of my clients. And I found it's been surprisingly easy to get speaking engagements. For example, after not the most recent book I published, but the one before that, which was a Bookmercial, I was able to go get speaking engagements at Harvard Business School, the MIT Sloan School of Business, and they invited me out to go speak because I had something interesting to talk about that was relevant to their audience, and the amount of effort involved was, one email, 3 paragraphs. It was fairly straightforward because I had sort of the credibility. I sort of mentioned my other resume items too, but I'm fairly certain if I wasn't a published author, I wouldn't have been speaking there, and I wouldn't have been invited out. And I think the reason it was so easy is because not only could I back up my expertise sort of in reality, I actually did know my topic, but I had sort of the appearance of really knowing my stuff as well. That's because I sort of introduced myself as an author of a particular book, and that sort of paved the way. I've been contributing articles to other industry trade magazines as well, also relying on the same background. So publishing a book is a very powerful way to be sort of perceived as an authority figure, and event promoters in particular, very fond of having authors on stage, right? Because it demonstrates thought leadership. If you're just like the CEO giving a talk at a trade show, well, it sort of feels like a staged sales presentation. But if you're the author of a book that sort of the industry is talking about, and you happen to be a CEO also, you sort of get that audience and get people to pay attention, get people to take you more seriously, and it's just a very powerful way to be sort of raise the profile of your company by speaking, raise your personal profile as an industry player, and to sort of attract prospects to your company, and to do so in a way where they're pre-sold, right? So rather than you cold calling them, we were chasing them. That dynamic is sort of very messed up, right? It's like they're hiding from you, they're running, they're the prey, and you're like the hunter. It's a bad sort of vibe for prospects. But when you're the experts talking on stage and prospects are looking up to you, literally looking up and seeking you out or seeking out your staff, it's their idea to come approach you. When you call them back, you're returning their phone call. You're not interrupting them. You're sort of responding to them. It just changes the whole sort of social dynamic quite a bit, and I find it's been very productive for both myself and my staff. So that's my thought for the day, using public speaking as a way to build your own personal profile, build a profile of your company, as well as to attract prospects for your business. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you want to see more, visit us online at www.bookmercial.com. Thanks.